and welcome to this week's episode of Margaritas with Marguerita Cheng, CFP Pro. I'm Hope Katz-Gibbs, proud producer of this video and podcast show on the Incandescent Radio Network and Incandescent TV. You are going to be blown away by this week's guest. Liz Davidson is the founder and CEO of Financial Finesse. Financial Finesse. Liz Davidson is the founder and CEO of Financial Finesse. Today's topic, becoming money strong. So even though April is Financial Literacy Month and this podcast and video go live May 5th, at Margaritas with Margarita, we celebrate financial literacy year round. But before Rita jumps in with the Q&A, let me tell you a little bit about Liz. She is the country's leading independent provider of financial wellness coaching. She is a best-selling author, and her new book is called Money Strong, Your Guide to a Life Free of Financial Worries. It hit shelves on February 28th, 2023, so it's brand new, and we can't wait to hear all about it. So take it away, Miss Rita.
Well, thank you, Hope. And Liz, welcome. Here is celebrating you and
my green tea.
Wonderful. And helping everybody become money strong. Thank you so much for being here again. Before we talk about money strong, can you share with us what it means to you to be financially well?
Yeah, absolutely. So, by way of background, we at Financial Finesse, we're the largest independent provider of financial wellness coaching, as I think was mentioned. And, we've worked for 24 years now with people, helping them with their finances. And from all of that work and analyzing, what does it really take and mean to be financially healthy, we've really arrived at a definition of financial wellness. And that definition is that you have manageable financial stress. Almost everyone has some financial stress. That's normal, but it's manageable. It's not keeping you up at night. It's not releasing the cortisol that toxic hormone that creates a lot of wear and tear on your body. You also have a financial foundation that's strong. So an emergency fund that, is adequate for your situation, no high interest rate debt, and you're living below your means. You're saving for future goals as well. You know what those goals are, when you want to achieve them, and you have a saving and investment strategy for them. And you have the right protections in place, to protect the wealth that you have built. If you have all of those things in place, you are financially healthy. Now, you want to guess what percentage of the population meets all that criteria, the working population?
Tell us. We want to know. Yes, absolutely.
5%. So, and if you think about it, it makes sense because that's a lot of criteria. So to meet all of them, the manageable stress alone is hard to meet, right? And then, the average American, you've probably read this study, has less than $400 saved for emergencies, which is probably, well less than they're going to need if one happens. So you kind of look at all those pieces, and it's very, very hard, absent, a lot of intention and a lot of support to achieve that for people. I mean, it's not easy.
No doubt. And I love what you said, Liz. It's not just about emergency fund for any emergencies and opportunities to come. It's not just about investing, but protection. I think sometimes people really forget about the protection. Oh, I don't have any dependents. I don't need life insurance, health insurance, auto insurance, renter's insurance. True story. Someone was a grad student attending Rice, and she said, I'm so glad you told me about renter's insurance because I was a grad school when Harvey happened and my apartment was flooded. And I'm so glad you mentioned this in your presentation about renter's insurance, because if I didn't have renter's insurance, it would have been very difficult for me to start all over as a grad student.
Yes, it's amazing because most of these insurances that you're talking about are quite affordable, right? And it's, in some cases, your employer may provide, different types of insurances just as part of being an employee, right? Like life insurance for a period of time and so forth. So it's really about just, making sure you look at your situation, and we call it a financial independence day is something we encourage people to do, which is kind of taking a day off and devoting the day, we have a checklist. And one of them is around those things to making sure you get your ducks in the row here because it's too late after. And life is so uncertain. And, it can make all the difference in the world. I can't imagine. Yeah, that scenario, right? If she was, a victim of Hurricane Harvey, like what would that have been, right? If she didn't have, her possessions covered, right? So yeah, absolutely.
Where do you see the value in financial coaching? I know that you're the leading provider of financial education, financial wellness, and financial coaching in the country. Um, so, where do you see the value, and how can financial coaching really help people become financially well, financially strong?
Yes, very, very interesting or good question. And one that I think, we're really at a tipping point in this industry of people, kind of innately craving our service. When we started, it was brand new and everyone was like, what's this financial coaching thing? But to answer your question, where do we see the value? It really is um, kind of a whole person kind of value because when you get your finances under control, your level of stress goes down significantly. Most financial stress is very, very toxic because it's ongoing. So your body is releasing this, hormone called cortisol that's really wears and tears on your mental health and your physical health. So when you're able to get that part of your life under control and be moving forward, the rest of your life improves, your relationships improve, your job performance improves because you're able to really take care of that stress, lower the cortisol. Literally, your brain chemistry changes. I mean, it comes down to even neuroscience. It's that impactful. So the value is not only in helping employees maximize their compensation and benefits and reach greater and greater levels of financial freedom, but you know, really be able to elevate, you know, their lives overall. And sorry, your second question was first was the value of coaching. I'm sorry, last second.
No, it's okay. And how can coaching help people become financially strong?
Yeah. So coaching is a process that really works very well because I think as humans, having someone that we can we can have as our mentor and our leader in an area that is very uncertain and ambiguous, right? But also our accountability partner can be life changing. So, people often start the coaching process in a pretty reactive state with an immediate problem or issue. And then, that creates a bond, right? Because you're immediately working with someone that's helping you get through something that is very difficult to navigate, confusing. You might be in a state of stress, and someone helping you resolve that issue, and then working with you based on your personal needs to go from resolving that issue to building the kind of life you want is just I mean, it really is our internal slogan is changing financial lives because that is the impact that a coach can have. It is not a one and done thing. It is a commitment on both parties to make sure that there's a plan in place and there's that accountability and those regular check-ins and plans change, right? What is Mike Tyson's quote? Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. And I think a lot of people, especially these days, feel that way, right? With everything going on, we're seeing layoffs at a lot of companies, so much uncertainty in the economy, Silicon Valley Bank. I mean, just so much going on that we wouldn't expect. Having a coach you can turn to and say, how does this impact me? Or I'm going through this life event I didn't anticipate, like a divorce or a death of a spouse. How can you help me? And having just knowing you have that backup and that person has your back. I mean, it really is a truly amazing life changing benefit for people.
Thank you for that. And for everyone, just to drive this point home, not only does it change lives, it transforms lives. So,
Yes.
absolutely. So, financial finesse works mainly with employers, employees, and including professional sports associations. I know that you recently launched a program to support college athletes who, within the past 2 years, have been able to um, you know, build some short term goals and earn money from NIL, that's name, image, and likeness. So, what does financial success look for? this next generation, particularly these young athletes?
Uh, yes, this is a very important initiative to us. So, yeah, the way our core business works is employers offer our service as an employee benefit. They pay for it, it's free to the employees. So, it's always been free to the employees. But with NIL, this is our largest philanthropic initiative where we created the first online financial literacy certification program for any and every student athlete. There's 520,000 of them in the US, so that as they get these new earnings from NIL, which is like you said, name, image, and likeness, where they can get earnings from endorsements, brand deals, donors, things they couldn't do this before July 1st, 2021. It's very new. As they get these earnings, how do making sure they have the resources to manage them? The number one issue is taxes. A lot of these student athletes are actually getting pretty large checks, but they may not even be aware they're going to owe taxes on that. They spend the money and then the tax bill is due. They're in debt to the IRS. Imagine life-changing money being spent and making you worse off, when instead, if you had the proper education, that money could really set you up for not only a head start in life, but financial security at an incredibly early age, and even potentially generational wealth. That's a big crossroads there. So it's really, really critical that student athletes get this education, so that, because they have a once in a lifetime opportunity. And the awesome part of this initiative is those that are making the most and have the highest profile are heroes. These are heroes to a generation. So these star football, basketball players, these higher paying sport, that are getting these really big NIL checks, if they're using their money wisely and they're showing that on their social media, and they're advocating, and we're starting to see the very beginnings of this, think of the ripple effect of that becoming cool to a whole generation that then enters the workforce with a greater level of financial savviness, because we've kind of used social media to propagate a message of being financially healthy being really important, as opposed to a message of have this Instagram life you can't afford.
No, I'm with you. Not only are they sports heroes, but they're going to be financial wellness heroes, right?
Absolutely. You're already seeing professional players, Marshawn Lynch, Jed Collins, Carl Nassib, who is our brand ambassador for NIL. You're already seeing current and former professional players that are, standing up in front of their teams or going public and saying, hey, this is a really important thing, sharing tips in locker rooms. It's pretty amazing to see this cultural shift that's happened in football. And we think if it can happen there with professional athletes, it can definitely happen in the university setting, where the university, is really supporting it as part of the academic curriculum.
Thank you so much for that. Now, as we wind down, we are going to talk about your second book, Money Strong. So it provides comprehensive advice for individuals for both short-term and long-term goals. What would you say? I know it says number one, but you know what? You can say three, because I love the number three. What would you say are some quick takeaways that people can implement to become money strong?
Say, this is based on a framework we developed from all of our work with employees called START. And without going through the whole framework, I'm going to tackle what I think are the three most important pieces. Setting yourself up for success. We are so hard on ourselves, and we think we have to have the willpower to save and, all the knowledge to invest, pick the right investments. Like, we put all this pressure on ourselves, and most of us have a money script that says we're bad with money. The reality is it's not us. It really isn't, as much as it is the environment we set. So if you have the right environment where you're automating whatever you can, you're asking friends and enlisting friends to go on this journey with you of achieving financial freedom, so they're not pressuring you to spend money on things you can't afford. You have an accountability partner or financial coach. You adopt a financial identity that helps you pre-decide how you're going to spend your money. If you set your environment up for success, it becomes so much easier. And then you don't have to constantly fight temptation or, go, okay, I'm going to save this much, this much. No, it's automated. It's set up for you. You have the wind at your back. The second thing is managing your financial stress, because not only is financial stress emotional and we need to manage it just for our own sanity, but it actually causes us to often make bad financial decisions, which is a dangerous downward cycle, right? So I'm financially stressed maybe because, I've of past decisions, and then that stress is eating away at me. Well, what do I want to do? I want to shop, or I want to, it creates this cycle. So getting that under control and forgiving yourself and giving yourself just this understanding, and that your finances change every day. So where you are today is not where you're going to be tomorrow. Certainly not where you're going to be a year, 5 years, 10 years. The future, focus on the future and the lessons learned, as opposed to lingering in that, kind of punishment phase. And then you're getting your brain is changing from this reactive state, stressed out state, to this proactive, forward looking state. And then the last thing is, that was the S, was set yourself up for financial success. T, tackle your financial stress. The A in the framework is advance towards your goals. The biggest key there, aside from the obvious of setting your goals and figuring out how to save and invest, is even knowing what they are. So many of us are told what our life should be. Should be married by this age, or we tell ourselves, like, this is kind of the right life to live because this is the life that my parents lived, and my everyone in my family is living, and you got to do things in this order. No, what do you want? Figure out what you want, what is going to make you happy. Then from that, form your goals. You're going to be much more fulfilled in life if you approach it that way.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much. I know listeners and viewers find so much value. So, how can we learn more about you? So, this is the time for you to share company website. Where can people buy your book?
Yeah, so the company website is financialfinesse.com. And we are in, God, about 15,000 companies as an employee benefit, free of charge to employees. You can get access to our financial coaching. If you don't know if your company has access, we actually have a search functionality, and you can type in your company and see if you have access, because you very well may. If you don't, then ask your HR manager to reach out, and we'd love to have a conversation. In terms of the book, you can buy it anywhere books are sold. It's available on Amazon, through Audible, through the Kindle, iBooks, any of that. But really, I would say, as much as I love the book, it was blood, sweat, and tears put into it. If you have, whether it's our financial coaching or another provider that is completely unbiased, if you have that available at work, use it, because a book is great and it can, if you don't, it's a good kind of second alternative. But there is nothing like having a coach, a live human being that gets to know you, care about you, and has your back. I don't think anyone can write a book that provides the level of value that a coach provides. If you don't have it available, then I think books and other resources, are the next place to go to kind of give you a step-by-step guide.
So well said. Now back to you, Hope.
Thank you, ladies. Wow, Liz, you are just full of great information. Rita, hold that book up again. Money Strong with Liz Davidson. Thank you for your time. Thank you to our listeners and viewers. This is Margaritas with Marguerita Cheng, CFP Pro, and we will be back again next week with more financial tips to help you flex your financial muscles. Thank you. I'm Hope Katz-Gibbs. Thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for being part of our Incandescent Radio and TV family. This is Hope Katz-Gibbs, founder of Incandescent Incorporated, the PR and publishing company for women entrepreneurs. Our Incandescent Radio and TV shows are brought to you by our advertisers and clients. Margaritas with Marguerita Cheng, CFP Pro, brings us 15 minutes of tips every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Facebook Live, where you'll meet experts who are helping us flex our financial muscles. Find all of the episodes at margueritacheng.com. margueritachengscience.com. You'll also meet intuitive psychotherapist Kara Keem, who interviews therapists and other intuitive guides from around the world. Learn more at karakeem.com. And you're going to love social justice expert Karen Hanrahan, CEO of the San Francisco-based Glide Memorial Foundation. She bridges the gap from local impact to global change on her thought leadership show on Incandescent Radio. Learn more about Karen at karenhanrahan.com. You're also going to love Alina Liao, founder of the radical wellness journaling company, zenitjournals.com. Alina asks, have you tried to journal but found it hard to keep up? Zenit makes it easier to journal for your wellness. With Zenit, you can customize your journal with prompts that speak to you. No more blank pages. Your Zenit is your personalized space to take care of yourself. Website, zenitjournals.com. Feel it, write it, Zenit. You'll also meet amazing Tracy Schott, founder of Voices for Change. Tracy is determined to change the world and end domestic violence. Learn more at voicesforchange.net. And we are so thrilled to be publishing a book for Angela Mitchell, who is the tech expert of case management. And she's also the founder of this fabulous organization, Kids Code 2. She is determined to teach kids to code computers. Talk about teaching a kid to fish. We invite you to discover and peruse all the Incandescent Incorporated websites, the magazine For Women, By Women, About Women, incandescentwomen.com. Our health and wellness magazine is beincandescent.com, the business of mind, body, spirit, soul, and heart. Our YouTube channel is incandescent.tv, and you can learn about our PR and book publishing services at incandescent.us. If you'd like to have your own radio and video show, check us out at incandescentradio.com, where you can see what we can do for you. These podcasts are also featured on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Our podcasts are produced by Brandy Wilsker. Our videos are produced by Nelson Benavides. Our website developer is Max Cucoy, and our incandescent illustrator and designer is Michael Glenwood Gibbs. If you'd like to learn more, please send me an email, hope@hopegibbs.com. Here is to your incredible, indelible, incandescent success. Much love and many